Good day, good people. This is the Holla the Truth podcast, brought to you by yours truly, Holla the Truth. Giving you the truth for the future, the present, and the past. But I gotta ask, can you handle it? What the fuck is up? Back at it again. Holla the Truth podcast, man, with my special guest, Mr. Samir. What's up with you, brother?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you having me on this podcast, man.
Of course. Give us some background on you. Where you from, where you grew up, how you grew up.
All right, man. Well, born in Sudan, nationality Eritrean, came to Seattle when I was 4 years old, man, to immigrant parents. Came as a refugee. Moved to the Bay once I got engaged to my wife. Yeah, man. Got a long story to tell, but yeah, that's just some of the short
How long
intro.
was you in Seattle?
I came in 1986. Yeah, like I said, when I was 4, I was there about 26 years. But my family's still there while I'm over here. Parents and everything. Well, my father, rest in peace. But my mother and my siblings still over there.
What brought you over to the Bay?
To the Bay, my wife. Well, originally I got family here in Frisco as well. Frisco, Santa Rosa. So we used to always come here when I was younger with my father, back in like '94 when I first came down here. But yeah, my wife, who I got introduced to my cousin, that's what brought me down here. Got together back in '06, got engaged '08, and then yeah, been back and forth a little bit. Yeah, been here since.
What would you say? So how old was you when you got here?
I came when I was 4.
No, to the Bay.
Oh, to the Bay, I was when I moved.
Yeah.
I was 25.
What differences or similarities do you have from Seattle to the Bay?
Seattle to the Bay, bro. I feel like they're cousins, man.
Facts.
Like the way we talk, the way a lot of things are, the music. You know what I mean? Just that you can see the influence, just from Cali, period, to Seattle. You know what I mean?
More of an LA
Yeah,
vibe.
LA, no, LA and the Bay. You know what I mean? But you know that you see the Interstate 5. Go straight, north and south. So it runs through the Bay and LA. So I mean, even all the way down to San Diego. So yeah, you see a lot of influence. But Seattle, ironically, we got you got people from Chicago that came down there. It's a lot of transplants from everywhere. So as I grew up, yeah, a lot of people from Texas and stuff like that, Mississippi and Michigan. Like my two partners. One of my boys, his family originally all from Texas, and then my other partner, his family from Arkansas and Detroit. So
I got a partner in Arkansas.
yeah. Oh, really?
Like my best man. If I ever get married, it's my best man. He live in Arkansas.
Okay.
I don't know if he too much like it, but he bought a house out there, so he chilling for now.
I know Arkansas seems so far away from over here, man.
Yeah, there's nothingness out there. I've been out there once. Just dry. Maybe no, just once. What was your transition like? Like, was it an adjustment when you left from Seattle to here? You don't remember an adjustment as a kid, like from the city
Oh, actually,
to America?
no, I do. I remember a few things when I was younger, like my father taking me to school on a motorcycle.
Out there, out here.
Out in Sudan, and I was like 3 or 4. People, oh, you remember that? And I remember we had a blackout, and I was young, but I still remembered it for some odd reason. I don't know how, but yeah, just remember a few things. But as far as the differences between the Bay and Seattle, you talking about, or
Yeah. But like even
or the adjustment? You mean?
yeah, the adjustment.
Really nothing. I mean, obviously the weather. San Jose, a little warmer. Frisco kind of has our weather almost closest to, because Seattle
4 seasons, right?
Yeah, 4
They get
seasons.
snow too.
Well, sometimes,
A
you know, what
little
I mean,
bit.
not too many times, but as far as like, rain, that. So probably 8 months out of the year, 7 months out of the year, and our summers are beautiful though, But over here, man, it's no need to even buy a jacket sometimes. You know what I mean? So it's like real rare to just walk out. Oh, I need a hoodie. I need a
Well, in
jacket.
San
But
Francisco, yeah, you
yeah.
definitely
Oh, definitely, yeah.
getting
But
there all. You got a good 2 months without
for
no
real,
jacket in San Francisco.
for real.
I learned that the hard way.
Seattle, man, we get bipolar weather sometimes, man. I remember one time in high school we had hail, snow, rain, and sunshine, bro. It was
All on the
crazy.
same day.
Yeah, so you wearing basketball shorts with a
Oh my
North Face
God.
on, you know what I mean? It
I
would be
tell
crazy.
this story all the time about a football game. Well, it was a day in high school. We had a game that night.
Mm.
At school, we in shorts and girls in tank tops and flip flops. By the time the game came, it was like 6 inches of snow outside. So we all freezing, not anticipating it. They say Denver's like the most bipolar weather there is,
Yeah.
and it come with the territory.
And the high altitude too, man.
Yeah, I didn't really notice the altitude until I started going back older after being out here. I've been out here 16 years. So after being out here, I went back and I'm tripping. I'm like, why I can't breathe? And I thought about it like this. What everybody be talking about now? I understand it now. Cause I done spent too much time away. So I don't even know if I've been there this year. Gotta get back. Anyways, so how'd you get into cooking? I know you cook. You can introduce your brand
Oh
to.
yeah, S1 Kitchen, man. Cooking. Well, I'm the oldest of four, so back then I used to have to babysit, and a lot of the times I'd try to create something out of nothing. We were a kid, so not saying we didn't have food in the house, but just making sandwiches and things like that. So I used to make this thing called special sandwiches when I was a kid. All I did was just add a ranch and lightly toast the bread, but I didn't know I was cooking back then.
Yeah.
This nigga trying to cook a mug, damn ham, a sandwich. It's burn a fucking sandwich. Why the fuck you ain't eat it cold? The fuck wrong with you?
Yeah.
So back then, but I just since I was young, I've noticed that food always brought us together as family. But even deeper than that in our culture, being that I'm Eritrean, general East Africa, man, the culture of just food and sitting down and having a conversation, and bringing your loved ones together. It's a sense of spirituality, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like even just giving food to somebody or saying, "Hey, I cooked this," it's a form of love. You know what I mean? It's a form of like a form of connection. And that's why I like the whole cooking and conversation thing. So if I give you food and we break bread, it's like, all right, we sit down and we talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're eating good food and we're conversating and we're building. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's a sense of togetherness. That's why I love the brand. And I've actually, through me starting it, since I started it, I've gained a lot of new relationships and met a lot of great people and still connect with them. So
So, um, how often do you sit down with your immediate family to like have a family dinner?
back then, or
Here, like
oh
your wife
man,
and kids.
uh, a lot. I mean, well, depending, work and everything, but I try to cook as much at home, and try to, like I said, it's a thing where my kids are involved and it's fun. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a spiritual thing with me, because of I'm building memories with my kids and not just um, purchasing things for them. It's really creating memories down the line of saying, hey, me and my dad used to do this, or if they're making any type of food when they get older, I'm like, man, my dad taught me this, or just even my wife, cooking together, conversating and talking, laughing, things like that,
That's a fun
man.
one.
It could be just with family in general, just all of us in the kitchen, lack of better words, talking shit, swallow spit, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's fun, man. It's definitely fun. It's like I said, a sense of togetherness. So
Relationship wise, that's a good
yeah.
form of intimacy.
yeah.
Just kind of like vibing out, cooking together.
hmm
Um,
You cut this, you clean the
Exactly.
dishes, maybe make sure to grab this,
like,
somebody go get the table ready, things like that. So it's like a team effort, you know what I mean?
that keep it healthy though.
Yeah.
Being like a business man yourself, do you find it hard to balance family and your own space and time with the business and working the full-time job?
Yeah, it's not as difficult sometimes as it seems. Yeah, sometimes when you gotta take on new clients and think you got it, but I think the process in trying to figure things out is where you learn how to kind of balance all that out. You know what I mean? So always make time for your kids. My wife, she's one of my biggest supporters, man. So my family in general. So they're always with whatever I need to do. But sometimes I'm stubborn and asking for help. So that's something I definitely need to work on.
Man thing.
But yeah, the balance is there, man. So like my kids got a game or something important that I have to attend, or even if it's just practice or whatever. I mean, I make sure to be there for them first. You know what I mean? So I make sure to schedule everything around what I got going on. Or if I have to stay up late to do something, I'll definitely do it. So life's all about balance, man. You make time for the things you want to make time for at the end of the day. So, yeah.
What I like to talk to people from out the country about like family values. Like what's being taught as a child?
Man, as far as like my country where I'm from, I mean, it's family is number one. You know what I mean? Obviously keep God first, but family is something that's instilled in you. You know what I mean? 'Cause at the end of the day, that's all you got. And even because even I've been back home, I've been back to my country, and like I said, even with the food thing, like stopping during the day while everybody's working, taking that time out to sit down and eat together, like you make that time. You know what I mean? It's that nature of togetherness, that nature of like, oh, we're all one. That love it's instilled in you. You know what I mean? So when we bring that to this country, you see that in certain places, though. You know what I mean? You see that in a lot of I've seen that in a lot of places. That sense of family. And that's, to me, that's in like as far as where I'm from, that's what's number one. Family is number one. So you definitely, yeah.
Black people would get that together.
You can't say that.
Nah,
I'm just joking. But I just
wish black people
because I've seen. But see, that's the thing. See, when I was growing up, like I'd go to my friend's house. You know what I mean? It might be scattered, but when I go to their home, that love is there. Grandma making food for my partner T, right? Hey Sam, there's some extra in the kitchen. Go get something to eat and make sure I'm fed too.
Oh no, we'd be good with outside of the family people.
Yeah.
But together as families, it seems like we struggle. But even in general, like we don't have it all together, and that's why we're so unprogressed in the world where we are. It might sound a little off, but like the other nationalities, they can come out here and live 4-5 families deep in a house. Black people ain't going for that. Everybody want their own shit. Everybody want 100% of a grape. When you can get 10% of a watermelon, 20% of a watermelon, whatever. And we just stuck in a mind frame where I want my own. I need my own. I have to have my own. Because that's what we're taught. We're taught to have our own. I don't really see us, real family oriented, taking care of the older ones, half-ass taking care of the younger ones. I just feel like we so unprogressed from the rest of the fucking world, which is not totally our fault. You got systematic racism and shit, but it's mostly our fault. We know this shit and we still choose otherwise. So this is my PSA. Can we get it together? I'm all for it. I'm for helping. I'm for working with people to try to figure some of this shit out. I'm trying to instill some of these values in my son, but it's kind of hard given the situation. Yeah, man, I just want us to get a little bit more progressive.
But I think that's man, because it's deep, man. Being around that, I grew up around predominantly African Americans, but as well as I grew up around Asians, Samoans, and you do see the difference, and I think it's because like you said, systematic. With the programming of what's going on in the past. You know what I mean? It's created that mentality. You know what I mean? Like that survival mode. Like I got it. You ain't got it. Well, that's on you. You know what I
Right.
mean? Instead
Right.
of saying, let me take maybe a quarter of what I have and help you out and get you on your feet. But sometimes even when you do that,
It
people
bites
take
you in the
that,
ass,
yeah, take
exactly.
people take that same, they'll grab something and put a knife behind their back, and you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, so people are scared to kind of help, or people are kind of timid, right? But I think if you just go wholeheartedly and just help with no intentions, you'll definitely, I feel like you'll break that chain, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
sometimes it's like you can't we can't use a system because it ain't made for any of us. You know what I mean? Even with me, people, oh, you African, you had it made. Nah, my parents worked 3 jobs to get a house. We lived in the projects, up until 91 or something like that, 91. So my mom and my dad worked. We didn't get no handout or nothing, right? So, but my thing is, I also seen the crack era. I went outside. I ain't know crack, bro. I'm from Africa, bro. I'm cutting my slacks to wear shorts so I can go play baseball outside. So, and then I'm seeing little babies walk outside with their mom strung out on, on dope. I'm taking the baby inside. I'm 7, 6 years old. I'm seeing that. I'm not knowing. I'm
Your baby out the street. She gonna get hit one of these days.
You got some blow? You got some rock?
seeing dudes gang bang with. I'm like, why they wearing the same thing my mom wear out the shower? They're wearing shower caps, talking about cuz blood and all this. But it's like I ain't know that. But since then, I actually understood it because I'm like, oh, this is all the system. Because once I started really knowing what's going on here and studying black culture, right? It's really the same thing even in Africa. We're getting colonized over there, but like you said, the only thing we have is family. You can't take God and family from us. You know what I mean? You could take everything else. You know what I mean? But the thing is with America, everybody's, oh, I need, I want. But it's like, well, how about being a collective? You know what I mean? Because it's just not as easy as it seems, even on our side. You think that, oh, it looks perfect. Yeah. Everybody looks perfect on the exterior, right? But I think being a collective starts with at home. You know what I mean? Being that hold down your family. Like you said, you're trying to steal what you instill in your son. That's all that matters. Your son might be the person to try to save the world, right? But you never know. But as long as you take care of your household and make sure you're collective of who you got around you, that's community. That's starting something. You know what I mean? That's grassroots. And I think we got to get back to that. Because at the end of the day, that's the only way you can do things, because you can't try to save the whole world first try. You know what I mean? Save yourself first, bro. You know what I mean? And that's self-love is what we don't. I think when I say we are talking about like black culture and all this, right? Self-love is something that we don't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to start finding that. Find who you are, because mind you, that culture was taken from you guys, but you guys created something while y'all here. You can say slavery and all this, right? But you guys created something that the whole world is following. You know what I mean?
Right. Hip hop,
Music,
from the
food,
way
bro.
we dressing,
You got Korean fried
food,
chicken.
Exactly.
Korean fried. Go back to food. Korean fried chicken was created during the Korean War. They taught them how to make that, right? And what they do, they came here and opened up a shop. Well, how come we couldn't open up too many fried food? But that fried chicken was created out of what?
Facts.
During slavery, out of having what? Lack of resources. So yeah,
Soul food in general, lack of resources. All
see-
right, we get the scraps, we're gonna make it happen.
but see that you guys took a little and made a lot. But the thing is togetherness. Anytime even with the system thing, it's like every time anybody tries to get together here, yeah, it's tough, man, because you can blame the government, blame this, blame that. But I think, like I said, if you start as a collective and don't be too loud in the initial stages. You know what I mean? The thing is, we about to do this, like, nah,
breaking.
yeah.
Like they used to do with the slaves.
All
They
the-
take the biggest, strongest slave, tie him up to horses,
Yeah.
and show them, hey, if you act up, this is what can happen.
And all you need is to get that one to infiltrate the, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
the whole team, and next thing you know, they stir up the pot. Everybody want to start killing each other.
Just like the Black Panthers, they're gonna take
Yeah.
out. They ain't taking him out.
Systematic, bro, and that's the thing. It's like it starts with self, man, and and all you can do is just try to figure out you. Bottom line, You create it, hang on to it, pass it on to your children, man.
And not that pseudo knowledge that people try to come, oh, I'm like this, I'm Capricorn, I'm black,
Yeah.
I'm got these different nationalities in me, I act this way because like, come on, dig deeper than what you think you know about yourself.
But I think being stripped of culture too, you always want to try to attach yourself to something, and I think that's where people get lost at. You know,
Right.
say you might not have that. You might not have generations back where you know something about, right? How about you be the first one to create it?
Facts.
Start it. You know what I mean? Like
Start from start.
start from start. Shameless plug, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like I think that we're so caught up in, well, I didn't know this back then. Well, you know now. Do the research. It's a wealth
All
of
the
knowledge.
information is out there.
You have it. You want to know about yourself? Find out. You know, you were created as you. You know, God is in you, not without you.
Facts.
You know, so don't try to be something else. Be who you are. So, yeah.
How old were you when your pops passed away?
Oh man, it was 2021, man.
Oh damn, that was recent.
August, recent.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had him for a long time, man. Yeah, dude was man influential, man. Like, no, he's a 101, a true 101, man. I couldn't be nothing like him, you know. So yeah, it was tough because he's definitely a staple in our whole family, bro. I'm talking about from here to Africa to everywhere, Europe, everywhere, bro. When you talk about the glue of the family, that man definitely the glue of the family, bro. So
That's what's up.
yeah.
Big shoes to fill.
Man, people like, you're the next one. I'm like, man, I ain't nothing like my dad was that guy, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
At least you got to see that.
Yeah.
And live through it. And understand it. Like, I'm glad my son made it to an age where he has his own real memories of me. Because, like I've said before, I don't really have no memories of my dad per se. I got a couple that I hold on to. I don't know if they was dreams. I don't know if they really happened, but I hold on to them because that's all I have.
yeah,
Outside of the videos my cousin Ashley sent me. But yeah, I don't have nothing really to hold on to. Just like still get triggered sometimes wondering about the last words or conversations we had. Even though I was only 4. Yeah, I'm just glad I can give that to my son now. Like, he can see me and he can see my influence on people and how I move. And you can tell that he picked up on it. Like they say, kids watch. He definitely watches.
Yeah.
He's definitely picked up on some of my habits, good and bad. But he's a people person. He's not shy. He has his moments where he care, but he's still gonna be himself at the end of the day, and I love that. I want him to get out of his shell a little bit more and understand who he is and what he can do and why it doesn't matter what other people think about you. I think he's getting to an age and a phase where he's going to be trying to figure himself out and understand himself as a man, even though he's nowhere near a man. Still got about 10 years for that.
Yeah, still a kid,
technically.
Man.
But I'm just trying to give him as much as I can give him. Like I said, I didn't have no father figures to pretty much teach me how to be a man, so I'm learning and teaching at the same time. I'm doing all right, I would say. I might got a good C plusish somewhere around there. But it's still a lot of shit I don't know. It's still a lot of shit I can't deal with myself. Understanding of some things and financial literacy and just life in general.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with people, so that's one of them positive traits he can get from me. Just kind of roll it on. How many kids you got?
I got 3 kids, man. I got a daughter and 2 sons. My oldest being my daughter.
What type of qualities for your daughter? What kind of qualities do you feel like you instill to help guide her towards her?
With her, just she's my daughter is a blessing, bro. she's just a sweetheart. You know what I mean? You know, I try to kind of be like, I don't want her being too nice, but it's like, how can you take that from her? Because I knew how I grew up. You know what I mean? You know how I know how to, whatever, in the streets or going out my house, how you got to be one way at home, and this way you had to be, you got to turn that smile off. If somebody going, you know what I'm saying, knock your head off. But it's like with her, it just, man, she's into God. She's sweet. She loves family, and these are things that's just her. You know, I don't know if I had any influence or my wife had any influence, but she's just like that naturally, man. And so I always say I'm blessed when I got her, man. It's just, especially having a daughter first. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you're gonna blow up the whole world. Somebody do something to her. You know what I mean? But
Facts.
you always think the negative, but it's like, nah. You know, and then as I see her grow, she betters me. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm doing my job. Because if she was out of place, you know, and like you said, talking about being perfect, there is no such thing. Because I've never been perfect, bro. You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem. We chase perfect and we run into roadblocks. You know what I mean? So with her seeing that, giving her understanding of my flaws and my faults, you know what I mean?
Right.
I want to help her, guide her to be not perfect, but understand that we all have flaws. As long as we discuss them and talk about them and try to, you know, have a conversation behind it. You know what I mean? And that's the number one thing I could, you know, teach her. And that she, like I said, man, when you have kids, they teach you, man. You grow with them, especially the first child, you know. And then especially my son, my second child, Evan, he has autism. You know what I mean? And that boy, he's taught me a lot. Because you know what reason why I love autism is because they don't care about nothing. They're in their own world, man. So it's like sometimes look like, oh, do we have the disability or they have the disability? It's not a disability because he enjoys his own world. And I was like, man, I wish I could have that because you know we constantly deal with, oh man, we got to worry about this, we got to worry about that. It's like, nah. You know what I mean? It's like, so when I see him, I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna start caring just like him. Hey, he's a sweet, he's such a great kid, man. And, you know, and he's taught me a lot about, you know, not stopping. You know, when he learns, it brings joy to me when he could write something or speak or, you know what I mean? So it's like the things we take advantage of that we have every day, he's trying hard to maintain that every day. You know what I mean? So it humbles the hell out of me and my family, you know what I mean? Because his growth is the most important thing to me. You know, my kids in general, but his especially, it has a big impact. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, then my third one, man, it's like reincarnation of me, man. This guy. Yeah. But you know, it's like God blessed me with him too because you know I had my son who had like autism, but God was like, here, this guy, you're a twin, bro, and he smacked me in the face with him. This guy, he's my terrorizer, but I love him. You know what I mean? Yeah. He never fails to amaze me at all. Like he's an incredible kid. You know, talks a lot, just like his dad. Loves playing sports. You know, he's full of energy, man, and that's why I love my kids, man. They definitely motivate you and definitely keep you going, but. Like you said, man, it's what we instill in them, you know, and we grow with them. That's it. So
that's what's up. Go from here. Would you say that you're a person that would be a model boyfriend for like your daughter when she gets into dating?
Well, you telling me?
Would you say you would want her with a man like you?
Nah, you gotta. If she finds a man, I just want the man to treat her right. I wouldn't say myself because every person has their own story. So you're never gonna. Like I said, you can't live for perfect, man. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like sometimes people are alone because they're searching for the ideal person, but there is no such thing. You know, you gotta accept somebody for who they are. You know, just make sure you don't put hands on my daughter. You know, respect her as she is, and she's got to respect you as you are as well. You know, it's an equal thing, and and just be able to grow together. I mean, that's what you want for any relationship. You know what I mean? So just be able to love each other wholeheartedly, and that's it, man. Because I don't want her looking for me. I want her looking for herself, what she wants. You know. and I'm just gonna be fully supportive. And like I said, as long as he respects her, treats her right, that's it. Because they'll eventually grow together. Because your 20s different from your 30, your 30s different from your 40, 40 different from your 50. So we all evolve, we all grow. You know what I mean? And that's just human nature in general. So
Do you like teach her independency? Like to
of
be an
course,
independent woman?
well, I don't press it on her, but I want her to maintain obviously her goals. You know what I mean? But also in the same space, she puts God first. You know what I mean? So she believes she has a strong faith in what she wants and what she needs in her life and her goals and the way she says things. But I think the independent woman thing, are you trying to get at? I know you're trying to get at, man. But that just I feel like with that, sidebar on that, it's just that's women are gonna be women, man. So if a woman wants to be independent, if my daughter wants to be independent, be independent. You know what I mean? I think that shouldn't stop you from finding somebody who you love or want to be with. But like I said, you got to figure out who you are first before you can be good to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? This is something I always say. I would say you know good to yourself until you're good to yourself. You know what I mean? So you can't give somebody you.
That's a good ass quote.
Yeah. So I
You
was,
know good for yourself
you know
till
good to yourself until you're good to yourself because
Yeah.
and I wrote that down. I was like, it's crazy because you think about it, you're like, how can you love somebody you don't love yourself? Think about
Facts.
that. You know what I mean? So, and that being said, yeah, my daughter, we all can be independent. We all got to we ain't going to work as a group. I mean, we ain't going to work with our wife or work with our, significant other. So we're independent in some sorts, but eventually as a collective, when you do get with your significant other or somebody that your partner, who is your partner, eventually, that's you as a so-called power couple or couple in general that wants to grow together. It's inevitable if you want something better for your life. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So, yeah.
So what about like your past trauma or history? You, we older now. I'm sure you look at some things like, damn, that still fucks with me. Like from back in whatever times or when it was happening. So what childhood traumas do you think you still hold on to today? If any.
Childhood
Maybe you haven't
traumas.
tapped in, or maybe you don't even have any.
Childhood traumas.
Yeah. Like things you just couldn't let go, and you'll get in moments where it's like,
Well, not necessarily trauma, just like memory. Like I told you, seeing things that I saw I didn't understand then, but it didn't. It made an impact my life, but it wasn't. No, it wasn't traumatic. It was more teaching, like seeing things. But as far as like childhood trauma, no, like I had a great childhood with my parents. You know what I mean? But I could say the expectations of being where I'm from, being a East African and being an immigrant, we always have to be. You have to be a lawyer. You have to be a doctor, and this and that. So it's not more trauma; it's more expectation. So what happened is now I place all these expectations everywhere I go. Oh, I got to be this, I got to be that. Everybody wants me to be this, and it sets you back, man. So
definitely.
my one regret is that I should have shut everything down. I should have, listened to myself and just figured out what I wanted to do instead of trying to please everybody. That people pleasing shit, man, that shit's out the window.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So once you get that out your way, I wish I'd have done that when I was younger. Stop giving a, what I mean? Which behind trying to please everybody because it sent me back some years. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Which,
Trying to live your life for
yeah.
everybody else.
Which
But that comes from having a kind heart.
yeah, most definitely.
Like I talked about in therapy, I feel like me personally, I get to feeling like it's my job to save people or help people or make people feel what they want to feel about me because I'm doing some of the same shit that they want me to do or where I should be in life. And I had to slow down and look at myself first.
Yeah.
Like, are you doing what you want to do? Like, it's so many people, oh, bro, don't stop the music. Don't stop the music. Like, yeah, what am I doing it for, though? So, one of my bigger questions in therapy has been why. Like, I have a vision board. Why do you want this shit? I could come up with everything, with answers for most of the shit. And then I had to dig a little deeper than that and understand why is it that I wanted it, and then why is that the reason that I wanted it. So I'm still working some of the kinks out with that. I need to obviously write it down so I can look at it, visualize it, understand it, and maybe the shit that I want, I don't really want.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I think
like-
once you find, my bad, I mean,
No,
cut
you
you
good.
off. I think once you find passion for purpose, then that's when you pursue. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I think that's what we try to
Ps.
figure out. Huh?
Passion, purpose, pursuit.
Yeah. So.
Like everybody has this facade that we can all be rich. We can, but we can't. And I think I've gotten to a humble place in life where it's like I don't need to be rich. Like as long as the shit is taken care of that needs to be taken care of, I'm cool. I don't really need. I think the money more is about time. Like I need the money so I can buy time with my son, buy time to have my mental space and do what I need to do, travel or whatever. But as far as just being rich, just to be rich and having money, like that's gonna solve the problems. Like I say, more money, more problems. We're gonna have different problems. Right now, it's a lot of people that money would solve their problems that they have now. But we don't think outside of that realm. We just think, oh, if I had money, I wouldn't have these problems. I know, but you'll still have some problems. So I think we've gotten to the idea that we can eliminate all our stresses and problems if we got money, which is a thing. But again, it's still some other shit coming that you're not going to know how to deal with if you have money and you've never dealt with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's why so many people back in the days was jumping off the fucking Bay Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge because they have money and lose money. They don't know how to live without it. They been in one space. So us black people per se, or even just, impoverished people, we know what it's like to not have that shit. So it's okay to be on our last dollar. We know how to get it back. We know it's coming back. Them people that ain't never been on their last dollar don't know how to manage that.
Yeah.
Which is vice versa. But if you never thought you was gonna ever see your last dollar again, how do you handle that? Like, where is your mentality? What does that change about the way you move and think about life?
Yeah.
I think we gotta stop holding on to these ideas that if we have shit that we think we want, it's gonna make whatever better. As long as we have what we need, we're good. Like you said, family. I want to get back more into that. Never really been a family-oriented type person. Just given how my family situations are. I wasn't ever taught to be. My mom always hosted like the little fake ass holidays and whatnot, but that was like really the only time we got together at a funeral. Very few weddings in the family. But I hope my son's learning on that side how to be more family oriented because they're a little bit more put together than both of my families are. We tend to only come together for
The hard times. Yeah.
The occasions, not just to come together to be family. But my dad's side, we throw hella family reunions. They do like 1 or 2 every year that I never make it to. But my mom's side, shit, I don't even think I've ever heard them have a family reunion. But that side is big. Like, my grandpa got damn near 20 kids. I think he got like 16 kids or something.
Yeah.
I don't know half of them. I've
That's
met a
crazy.
couple of them, but I don't know half of my uncles and aunts on that side. Yeah, man, I'm flustered right now, but
It's just a lot. It's just a thing of like, people equate having a lot. I think we go into too much of people saying, "Oh, I got a lot of friends, I got a lot of family," but you have a quality amount of friends, you have a quality amount of family. You know what I mean?
facts.
Because that's the thing. It's like, if you don't really spend time or know them and know who they are or what's going on, then they're just, okay, we're related. So what? You know what I mean? And we tend to, when you get older too, it gets harder. You know what I mean? But you can make time. And then going to talk about what you was talking about, currency, you know, money and stuff, right? So I always tell people this, you know what I mean? I always say character over currency. I always say that because, you know, when you get buried, they're not going to say, oh man, his 401k was this, or he had 5 million and this. And, you know, you're not going to die with that because money can't buy character, bro. Money can't buy morals and money can't buy no principles, but money does help. So it's like double-edged sword type thing. You know what I mean? And, you know, the people that don't have it a lot, when they do get it, they want to flaunt it. You can't blame them for that. You know what I mean? It gets extravagant at times, but like I said, when you place too much value on a dollar, you start losing, you know, you start getting this false perception of who you are, you know, you can't buy yourself spirit. You can't buy yourself time. You know what I'm saying? It's not you know, you can't say, hey, God, you know, you can't get a loan. God, let me get like 30 years back. I'll give you $60 billion. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're all here on borrowed time, bro. You got to really put everything in perspective. And sometimes you have to self-reflect every day if you have to, you know what I mean? So, because we don't know, you know, like you said, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You know, why not focus on now, be in the now and understand who you are at this moment. And that's it. It's all you have, bro. You know?
Yeah.
And then people, you know, like you said, money does help, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's people chasing the bag, chasing this, chasing that. What about your health? If you're not healthy, how you going to spend your money? You know what I mean? You're going to be here, you know, we want to pass stuff on to our kids and whatnot, but still, are you here to enjoy it? You're going to work, die. Boom. Story of your life is what? Have you changed any lives? Have you impacted somebody? That's another one of my things I always say, impact over income. Because when I leave this earth, man, I want somebody to say, he helped me at this time, you know, or he got me through this, you know, and I would say the same about somebody else, you know, that's what I value, you know. Anybody can give money to anybody, help them out. Yeah, it does. You know, if somebody needs something, you help them out and whatnot, you know, pay somebody's rent, or, you know, buying food, whatever, right? But are you spending time to help them figure out what they're going through? And as well as you taking something from that situation to help you prevent from going through the same thing. So
that's like,
it's all a give and take, man. You know what I mean?
that's some of what I'm reaching for with the podcast, to help people that may go through it, may be going through it. A friend of mine told me that she looks at it like, to sum up my podcast, the past interview she's seen, it's more like, it's like a ghetto therapy, or like a street therapy, not even ghetto therapy.
Yeah.
It's like a street therapy. I get to lock people in and get in depth with some hard subjects, some tough shit, but it's real human shit that people are going through. I want to help. I want to teach. This is another part of my hero complex, savior's complex. There we go. I feel like I can save people or help people. I feel like I'm God, not like I'm God, but I feel like God, like I'm just supposed to be the savior, and it's not my job, but the podcast helps with that idea. You know, it satisfies something in me that I feel like I can help somebody. Because the first couple episodes, people were reaching out like, bro, I learned something. Like, this was dope. I understood this. Like, I never heard it spoke this way. And not even just necessarily for me talking, but people that I have interviewing. I'm sure a lot of people going to catch some of the things we're talking about and hear, like, oh, well, damn. Because you had a couple little quotes that, yeah, I'm going to take heed to those. I like some of them things you were saying. Like,
well, we're going to give Holla the Truth a new slogan.
Yeah.
If you're not being used, that means you're useless. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So, and that's the truth. You know what I mean? Seriously, because it's like we all have to be used. You got to be utilized on this earth, man. You know, everybody's, oh, I'm trying to find this. You don't need to find nothing.
Right.
Be who you are. Utilize your story. If you ain't got no story to tell, you ain't never lived. You know what I mean? And I think people try to focus on trying to be, like you said, the perfect shit. I hate that.
Yeah.
Stop trying to look good for everybody else. Be good to you. That's it. That's all that matters, because at the end of the day, that's all you have. It's gonna be you in that mirror.
You got to look at that face in that mirror after them filters.
That's it, man.
You got to look at that stomach in the mirror after the suckings. I'm speaking for myself too.
Yeah, don't fat shame me, man.
I
I'm
definitely-
working on myself, man. Hold on, man.
I'm trying, man. But I definitely got to look in the mirror after I look at my Instagram pictures after I done sucked it in a little bit. Self-love.
That's
I
it.
still love myself.
That's it.
In private, in public.
And it's cool to be alone sometimes too.
Definitely.
I think that's when people get bored too easy. You know what I mean? But sometimes sitting down and quietly,
That's
another thing I always say. Sometimes you got to turn off to turn back on. You know, we hard reset our phones, right? When our phone is going haywire, what do? Hard reset.
Turn it back on.
So in life, what you need to do, turn off everything, go walk outside. You know, and it's like you need a hard reset sometimes. You know what I mean?
Facts.
You know, you got to update your software.
Big facts.
That's it.
Mr. Fab had talked about how these niggas out here running, they got Benzes, speaking metaphorically for your body, got a Benz, but all the lights is on. Check oil lights, check engine lights, hazard lights, everything on, because they just running out of gas to understanding themselves and taking care of themselves. You got to do the work on the inside.
Exactly.
Just like with a car. You need to treat your body metaphorically like a car. Do that work on the inside so your shit can drive long. You want a Honda body, not a Benz body.
Yeah, for
Benz
real.
don't last that long. We all want to look good, but feeling good creates longevity.
Yeah. Period, man. We gotta go back into emotional maintenance. You know what I mean? Spiritual maintenance and really taking care of ourselves, man. We pay to get our car, the oil, like you said, the oil change. We got to get our house maintenance or apartment maintenance, whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? Everything's got to get maintenance. But then what about you?
Right.
If you lose yourself in the process, then it's like, then you're stuck in being depressed. Oh, anxiety. Oh, I ain't this. I ain't that. Now you're putting yourself in a dark place because you told yourself you ain't shit every day for the past 3-4 months. Now you're in a rut. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to get back telling yourself, hey, you got to tell yourself I love you. You know what I mean?
Positive self-talk.
Yeah. Sometimes it ain't easy though. You know what I mean? Obviously, because especially like
with everybody else being perfect.
Yeah. Because the stresses of the world are always placed on you and things like that. But it's like I said, just focus on what's around you. Don't worry about what's on the outside world. Don't get intrigued by what you see on Instagram or social media in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like really get back to that core. You know what I mean? That just that little circle that you got.
I literally made it a habit to wake up and talk to myself positive.
Got to.
Because the first thing I always do, this is what made me catch it. I woke up, I checked my phone, messages, Instagram calls. What happened while I was asleep? Like I missed something. You missed yourself, brother.
Really?
Talk to yourself.
That's real shit, bro.
Let yourself know that you're here, you're aware, you see you. It's gonna be a good day. Whatever I can tell myself in the morning that's somewhere on a positive note to start on a positive. I always wake up like I missed some shit.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I miss? Like a little kid, you know how they just hate going to sleep, like they gonna miss the next fucking Paw Patrol episode or something. Like, nah, wake up and talk to yourself. Give yourself 3 words or something, some substance other than jumping on Instagram, seeing what niggas was doing last night or whatever.
Give yourself something to look forward to.
Facts.
Yourself. I mean, like I said, simple things, man. Like, go outside. You know what I mean? Just go for a walk. Like, just go. I think we make life so difficult, man. Like, my dad used to say this, man. Life is simple. We make it hard. He's always telling me that. Like, why you worried about all this other shit that don't even matter, bro? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like we put this emphasis on, oh, man, I got to do this. I got to do this. Oh, I got to invite 1,000 people to this and that. You know what I mean? For what? Celebrate yourself, man. Like, once you celebrate yourself, then nobody can tear you down. What you going to tell me about me?
Facts.
I've already told you my flaws. I told you who I am. Now what?
Oh, I do that in the beginning.
Either you want to be around me or don't. Then bounce. If you don't want, if you want to be around me, cool. We gonna rock. But other than that, bro, all that like validation and all that bullshit, bro, that shit out. You know what I mean? Like, I think we seek that too much. And being the age I'm at now, bro, it's like, I'm cool. You know what I mean?
I had to outgrow that.
I'm my own best friend, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, big on that. I would take myself out fast
That's it.
all the time. I go eat by myself, go to the movies by myself,
Yeah.
go to the bowling alley and put my AirPods on by myself. I'm a by myself ass nigga. I go to games and shit, but I
It's
love
cool.
myself.
Yeah, it's cool, and it's cool sometimes because you get that kind of like that time to you, and then you start, like I said, you start reflecting on things, and then boom, now you turn back on because you did that hard reset. You sat alone for a little bit. It's cool. Sit alone, even 30 minutes a day. It's cool. Take a break.
Them hard resets are much needed.
Yeah.
I just had a friend just said she went black. She missed some shit and like got forced into some faster deadlines, but she was like, I needed to stop. Like I had to turn everything off.
Yeah.
And like you said, she had to turn everything off and then revamp and get back into the motions.
Yeah.
And I think it gives you a clearer head, a more understanding of where you're going and the direction you're trying to put things into, or putting things into perspective, or just understanding yourself and your situation a little bit more.
Yeah.
First off, I do want to say you had mentioned something about like being valuable to people or like helping people. So I want to say I appreciate you. There's been times where you've called and just on some genuine chop it up shit and like, hey bro, like what you doing is dope. I love it. Keep doing it. Like them words of encouragement, bro. I don't know. You would never know how big they were to me, but I can tell they're genuine, and you really feed into a nigga's soul when you do that, because I get, like I say, we all have these moments, we get depressed and we get to thinking this ain't gonna work. Like my 100 views is like, I'm not doing Club Shay Shay 3 million views.
Yeah.
But people like you to keep people encouraged to some things that you see they're doing that is big. It's bigger than what it looks like. So I definitely appreciate you for that. I want to give you your flowers for that, because definitely need that, without a doubt.
Bro, I'm always inspired by people around me that's doing something. That forced my ass to get up like, oh, let's get it cracking. You know what I mean? Like, because the thing is, it's like, if I can't tell somebody, hey, thanks for inspiring me, I'm gonna give you your flowers, bro. Like, it's cool to say, hey man, thank you. You inspired me. Thank you. You helped me get through something. Why not, bro? Why is it hard for us to say thank you, man? We gotta be tough. Oh yeah, man, shut up with all that, bro. Like, it's cool to say, hey, bro. Even telling your family I love you. You know what I mean? In our culture, it was tough at first. Like, and me and my dad got used to that when he had got sick. But it really opened up a lot of things for me. You know what I mean? To say that, because once you start appreciating people, you start valuing people and letting them know that, bro. That could, you don't know what somebody's going through. And I'm not doing that. You don't do nothing just to kiss ass. You do it because you're genuinely inspired by somebody. You know what I mean? Because I've had somebody tell me something that lifts my day up. You know what I mean? My kids tell me I love you. Hey man, that's enough right there. You feel me? So it's like, I think we get caught up in trying to be, I ain't saying nothing. I ain't gonna be the first to say nothing. Okay, it's cool. Focus on those 100 people that use your shit.
Right.
Because in branding, bro, you focus on the people that support you. Don't worry about those who ain't caught on yet. All you gotta worry about is that. Because the thing is, look at it like that, half glass full, because people haven't caught on yet. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna look at how many people like my shit or how many people viewed my shit, because guess what? Those whatever 500-600 people, they're watching. Somebody, at least they're watching.
At least somebody.
So you're getting viewed. You know what I mean? And you're doing something. So, we key on too many things. And like I said, it's the validation thing. We want, oh man, damn, I got to get that 10,000, 20. No, don't worry, your time is coming. So it's like, your time and God's time are two different things, bro.
Fact.
That wanting now, that oh, I need this, nah, man, let that go. Just keep doing what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing, bro. Everything will come together. That's it.
Yeah, bro. You got any questions for me?
Man, how long you been doing music, bro? Because I'll run through your page. Hey, this guy, he's talented, man. And I'm a better bowler than him too. I seen him bowling and all that. So this guy definitely, he's inspirational, man. He do music, bro.
I don't know about that bowling. I don't know what he talking about. I don't know what he talk about. If you know me, you know he don't know what he talking about.
Okay, it's cool. You
I
get
don't
fried
give
on that
too
shit.
many people that credit.
But now with the music, I was just because you didn't talk about it, so I was going through your page. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, he got good music. I went on YouTube, saw your stuff. I was like, oh, this guy talented. But like you said though, sometimes them looks, it kind of do. People get crushed at first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've been insecure about my music for a long time. I know I can write my ass off without a doubt. I don't like how I sound as a recording artist, so it's not something I always put out there. Like, you know, them niggas that meet women and be like, "Oh yeah, listen to this song I just made." Like, never been that type of nigga.
Because you made it for you.
Yeah, I'll show them songs after we get kind of rocking, but that's not like gonna be my introduction to myself with anybody. If people get to talk about music, then I kind of throw out my accolades and things. I had more progression with production though, but rapping. So it really started off on some bullshit. I used to make these little. Before everything was popular, I was kind of doing a lot of this shit, but no guidance, just kind of rolling. And social media wasn't as big when I was doing it. But I used to make these little videos. I don't know if you remember the Unforgivable dude. It was a black and white video, and he tells stories, and it was just hella funny. He was like, "Oh, and I told that bitch to go to Chick-fil-A and get me a sandwich." And it was funny in its time. It's still kind of funny now. But I used to make some little videos like that. And I had like these parody raps I would do at the end, and some dude commenting was like, "Oh, this is the worst rapper I ever heard." And it was like, "Bro, it's meant to be funny. Like, it's not a serious thing." But I'm one of them people that when you tell me I can't do something or I'm not good at something, I'm gonna prove you wrong. So that's kind of how I actually got into it. So I say I've been actually recording, making music just about 14 years now.
True. You got into it.
Yeah. So now, more like as I've gotten older, it's not really about like trying to make a hit or like get signed or whatever the fuck people make music for. I do it to vent. Like, you know how people write poetry or people do whatever they do. I do it to vent. Like, if you hear the latest music, it's all stories, not storytelling, but like stories of my life and the way I can put the words together for it. With that, again, like I say, I be trying to be a savior. With this savior complex, I say a lot of my music was directed towards trying to help people, giving some understanding of the shit I was going through. Hopefully, trying to help with the way I articulate the words and the situations. One of my best songs is the one I made about getting cheated on. I didn't necessarily get all the way in depth with my feelings for it, but I got in depth with how I was feeling in the moment and the thought processes of what I was going through. It's called Nigga For You. But yeah, like I said, I've always been insecure about the music thing just because I don't like how I sound as a recording artist. But other people, you know, you're your biggest critic. Other people hear it and be like, "Are you tripping?" Like, even like my last self album that I put out, there's a song on there that I hate. I just did it. I had recorded it and I was like, "Fuck it," like it's going on there regardless. I hate that song, and people like, "This is my favorite one." I'm like, what? How? Of all the other shit I said, this is what you like? But
man.
you know, that just goes to show that what you like ain't what everybody else like. So for anybody inspired by or struggling with the idea that what you're doing isn't for the masses or whatever, put that shit out. Some people gonna love it, some people gonna hate it, whatever. Put it out. You never know. You really never know what people gravitate towards or why people like what they like. But if it's not out there for them to have, you'll never know. So I just make songs and put them out and see where. I don't even do the promoting side of it. I just, you know, if it grabs, it grabs. I'm not banking on it. no more at this point.
So,
I feel like if, like the circle I was around, if I had the enthusiasm that I had then with the knowledge that I have now, it'd be different. But I'm not enthusiastic about the idea of music and all that no more. I still get into it when I want to, but for the most part, I be chilling.
that's what's up, man. Nah, like I said, you did. You know, as long as you did it for yourself, bro, that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you said, sometimes the stuff that you like is not the stuff everybody else like, bro. So
Facts.
even like I am with the food, some I'm like, oh, I'm about to kill him with this, and then I do something that's basic. And everybody's like, oh man, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I didn't do nothing with this one. I'm like, but you gotta let the people. You put out the product, right? You gotta let the people like what they like. You know what I mean? So
That was like some of the inspiration with the podcast. I was watching $1 Million Worth of Game, and there was an episode. I feel like I didn't start my podcast yet, but it was an episode, and Wallo was like, to all the people out there thinking about doing podcasts, do it. I'm like, oh, damn. All right, that's simple. He's like, people struggle with the idea of, oh, they not gonna watch mine, or I gotta be like this. He's like, no, just do it. Like, be you. Go out and do it. Give the people. He be like, it's 1 million people watch our shit. It's 1 million other people watch a different podcast. So it could be 1 million people watching yours. It's just, if it's not out there, how you gonna know?
yeah, if you don't ever try, man.
Between that, therapy, and my wanting, man, my savior complex, it kind of got the podcast rolling for me.
That's what's up.
And people like you, like I said, help to continue it. It's been a while since I even dropped the episode. It's gotten to the point where anybody even asked. So yeah, I appreciate you for pulling up. Want to give you flowers for that.
No problem, bro.
Real genuine conversation, real genuine dude. Make sure y'all tap in with S1 Kitchen, because the food go crazy. He juice as well. I'm finna tap into that. I'm gonna get on another 3-day juice because I just off today with some barbecue. I went 2 days juicing. Lost 7 pounds though. It's kind of weird. But I think it was water weight because I've been peeing a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not eating nothing, so how am I losing weight? But I realized.
TMI, y'all. My bad. TMI.
Like y'all know.
He gonna get on this juice, man. He gonna get you ready.
Shout out to my brother Samir.
Yes, sir. Shout out to HollaTheTruth.
You feel me? And this is the HollaTheTruth podcast, giving you the truth for the future, the present, and the past. But I gotta ask, can you handle it?
Right. Peace.